what's good, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a great day so far. The markets are not having a great day. We're going to talk about that here in a second. But first, we got to do a little housekeeping. Funny Money series that we're doing with my brother. Just kind of a fun sort of way to talk about the markets in a lighthearted way. Today, we've got a fun one. If you're tuning into that one, it'll actually probably post tomorrow, episode number 4. What we're going to do is it's going to be called a segment called Sad But True. I'm going to read off 2 quick short stories to him about public companies, things that public companies or people that work for public companies have done. And then he has to decide which one is fake and which one is sad but true. So I'm really excited about that. Just kind of a fun way to get a younger guy interested in the markets. And he's not, much of a novice. He's got a pretty smart head start there, thanks to our family history. But that's basically all I have to offer for housekeeping. Remember, if you're a client of Jazz Wealth, beneficiaries, double check your accounts. Make sure you have the beneficiaries for your IRAs that you want to have there. If something should happen to you, it'll go directly to them. We don't want to have to play that game where we're hunting people down and trying to make sure that the right person gets the right account. We have almost zero control over that if you don't set the beneficiary. Let's talk about the stock markets today. The stock market, basically, if you were a company that was trying to sneak out some bad news today, maybe like MetLife yesterday, then today was the day to do it. The stock market, the financial media, all focused on the new Federal Reserve Chairman's testimony that he gave here to Congress, his whole speech, everything he said. They were hung up on every single word. And basically he said, look, there could be as much as 4 rate hikes this year. Stock markets don't like that. Rate hikes or interest rates go up. Stock market tends to struggle a little bit. So the Dow was lower by 299 points after having a pretty good day yesterday. The S&P the S&P 500 lost 35. Let's take a look. There we go. And the Nasdaq 100 pulled back 91 points. Not too big of a deal. We'll slide over to the charts real quick so you can take a look. Here's the Dow almost erasing all of yesterday. The S&P 500 completely erasing yesterday. And the Nasdaq almost erasing that as well. Again, the focus was on the chairman today. Everything that he had to say. Democrats tried to punish him and give him a hard time. They really don't like him as the Federal Reserve Chairman. But investors were focused on the interest rate policy. What are they going to do? And basically they said, we're staying on track with what Janet Yellen had previously stated. And so that could mean as much as 4 rate hikes this year. So that's basically it. Now, aside from that, the markets were still pretty active. There was a lot going on. It just didn't make the headlines. Remember, we said before, retail stocks, this is their week to shine. Retail stocks are going to be in the news for earnings. Well, earnings started coming out, not too good, which is also not a good sign because Americans, the U.S. economy, we need people to spend money or we don't have much else to offer. So if you're not out there spending money, then our economy tends to suffer a little bit. Here's an image of the XRT. This is just an ETF that tracks the retail sector in a very uniform way. And I'll take a second to kind of tell you, if you're using an ETF to track the retail space, or you want to invest in retail stocks, or maybe short retail stocks, you want to be careful about the exchange traded funds you use. These ones are tough. Some exchange traded funds, you may think you're investing in the retail stocks, all the public companies, but in reality, it's a heavily balanced towards 1 or 2 stocks. So, there's a couple different ETFs you should check out just to make sure you're getting a diversified sort of mix of the retail space. You can see retail stocks today down, the XRT, the space as a whole, down 2%. Part of the reason is Fitbit. That lost 12%. They reported earnings and they didn't have anything good to say going forward. You had AutoZone, there we go. Down 11% on the day. That was your weakest name in the S&P 500 today. They missed on earnings as well. Not looking good there. That also took down the other stocks, O'Reilly Auto Parts and Advanced Auto Parts, both down, looks like 6.5% and 4.5% on the day. Wasn't all bad news. I mean, the retail stocks took a hit, but Macy's, it didn't quite finish as strong as it was, but Macy's broke out today. If you're a technical trader, likes looking at breakouts, that's a fresh breakout. That's something that will grab the chart trader's attention for sure. It obviously did today. Macy's beat their earnings estimates by a mile, right? Whatever they're supposed to come in at 260 something, they came in at 282 a share. Way beyond anybody's expectations. And even the CEO, the company reported that the growth exceeded their expectations. and they were pretty positive thinking about going into the future. So Macy's looking good. That's one bright spot in the retail sector today. It's not done. You've got Square. I don't know that that's really retail. You've got Etsy. Looks like Etsy's already reported earnings. Etsy up 16%. Let's take a look while we're here. 24.80 off the chart. So a very, very, very strong move for Etsy so far. That's good. That'll help out the retail space a little bit. But let's move on. So in other news, we've got Boeing, and this is one of my brother's picks for his stock madness. We'll be talking about that tonight too on Funny Money. Not bad. It started off a little stronger. It was up about 1%, finished the day up about 1/3%. Here's the deal. They made a deal with President Trump, along with other things. Now, I'm going to highlight this, of course, but of course, Boeing was in the news for other reasons as well. They made their deal with President Trump for 2 new Air Force One planes, which, if you know, he's been publicly trying to negotiate that deal down, said it's a waste of money, doesn't need it, he'll keep the old ones, just trying to get a better deal. Well, apparently he got the better deal, $3.9 billion to buy 2 Air Force One planes. I don't know if that's a good deal or not, but it is $1.4 billion cheaper than what the previous administration had paid. You know, look, I'm not taking sides. I'm just saying he negotiated. He got $1.4 billion. Sadly, that will not be going to us. That will be going to pay our debts. So, hey, you know, we spent $3.9 billion to buy some new planes. That's that. In other news, pretty interesting, I'm going to talk about this later too, VSAT. Have you ever heard of the symbol VSAT? I'll be honest, I had not heard of this one until today. Launched a satellite in space that now you can order internet from them. Speeds of up to 100 megabits per second, but tune into Funny Money later. We'll talk about that. We're going to go around the rest of the markets. You've got gold down today 1%. Crude oil down another 1.5%. So not a big deal on crude oil. That's just a little drop in the bucket relative to the rally that we've just had here. But as you take a look around, you can start to see financials. Ooh, bit of a weak day there, down 1%. So we'll call it a bit of an off day. Not a big deal. Moving forward from here, everyone is going to get back to work. The Federal Reserve Chairman is out of the picture now, so we can get back to real news stories, things that are actually sort of moving the markets. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you're a client of Jazz Wealth, gives you an update of kind of where the markets are at. Should you be scared? Should you be excited? Is it something that you should be looking at contributing more or running for the hills? That's our goal here, is just sort of a daily update. If you're not a client of Jazz Wealth, I hope you check us out, jazzwealth.com. We manage retirement accounts, but we'll help you with anything that touches your money. I'm really, really trying hard to be the next personal finance supporting sort of personality, but in a way that's not, you know, so serious, in a way that's not ridiculously mean compared to some other guys. I want to help you with your money. We'll manage your retirement investments, but we're going to work backwards from there. We'll take care of it in the long term, but I want to make sure you spend your money, you're handling your money, all the other investments you have. I want to make sure those are moving in the right direction for you. So be sure to check us out. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know in the comments section below what you think. Should we change the name Funny Money? We're going to talk about that tonight. I don't know if that's something that we want to keep. I appreciate you guys watching. That's all I have for you. We'll be back tomorrow for Hump Day.